This isn't something I've heard a lot of people talk about when it comes to the Yakuza games. I usually hear a lot of people talk about like, oh, you're an old guy. It's an old guy simulation. It's a grandpa simulation. The way I see it, the way I experience it, or maybe the way I play Yakuza. Maybe this is just me. Maybe it's just me. The way I experience it, it feels like a Chad simulation. Like Kazuma Kiryu is one of the biggest Chads in gaming. I made like a top 10 list of Chads in video games. He was in, I'm pretty sure he made like the top 5. I can't remember who I put higher than him. I know Link from The Legend of Zelda was number 1. But Kiryu, there is no denying that Kiryu is an absolute Chad. Like the Chaddest of Chads. Like amazing motherfucking guy with all these, who can do all these crazy things and look awesome while doing it. So again, love the Yakuza games. I'm loving Yakuza Kiwami so far. I'm hoping to get through Kiwami 2 and 0 relatively soon. Again, I want to finish Kiwami 1 first before I do that, but I'm really enjoying these games. But I noticed something this time. Since I finally got around to doing the Cabaret Girl missions, I don't think I ever really got into them with Yakuza 5. I probably should like pop the game back in and go through this section again because they're actually pretty fun and interesting. A lot more than I would have thought. I guess it was like one of those cases where like, oh, I don't understand the appeal of this mini game, but like now I have. So I went ahead and did one with Kiryu, and I found it very, well, I did one in Yakuza Kiwami, and I ended up enjoying it for a reason that I was not expecting at all. This kind of goes into what I've been saying about, like, female nature and just the, and just some of the hoops you have to go through. You can't really take what a woman says all that seriously. Yakuza Kiwami emphasizes that really well when it comes to the whole lesbian question, right? Like, do lesbians exist? No, they fucking don't. But they'll try and convince you they do, even when they're clearly into you. It's just really baffling. I was, okay, so for those of you who aren't aware, Yakuza Kiwami features a hostess, Rina-chan, from I think the club Shine. She's a cabaret girl that you can talk to, and she just casually drops the fact, drops this bomb that like she just casually mentions the fact that yeah, she's into girls and that's why she's working here, so she can be around cute girls all the time. Like, yeah, I went to an all-girls school, so I just like being around other cute girls. And Kiryu was just like, okay, and just moved on with the conversation, just basically just chatting this girl up. Again, can't take these people. I was shocked at how realistic this was, right? Like, this was something that I would do in this situation. Like, of course, Rina-chan wasn't cute. I didn't find her interesting, but like, you know, she was a hostess. Kiryu was talking to her, and like, he pulled the moves, right? He knew what he was doing. Well, I mean, I guess, again, I was, you can kind of choose your dialogue options, and it's kind of obvious what you're supposed to say, but, he basically was able to like make her feel comfortable, like expressing herself, expressing her opinions, while simultaneously doing what he wanted to do, right? Like leading her down this path of taking the dick, basically. Like, it's just, wow. It was kind of subtle in that regard. It didn't come out and say that like, oh yeah, lesbians don't exist. But like, if you actually talk to these people, right? If you actually interact with them, if you actually know, and if you actually have any experience at all, like, you'll realize very quickly that lesbians don't really exist. It's just like a weird kind of status symbol for these people who are just, well, I guess it must be different in Japan, because like Rina kind of talked about it in a different way than a Western woman would. Like, you didn't see her like say shit like, oh, fuck all men, fuck all white men, that we don't need them. Like, she was just like, yeah, I've been around girls all my life and I like them. And again, it must be a cultural difference thing, but it results in the same thing. It's not a real interest, basically. It's it's not real. There's nothing more to say about it than that. Like, she's not actively pursuing a relationship with these people. She's not doing anything. It's just something she sort of fell into, and um, like, here's the thing about lesbians. Here's the thing I've noticed. It's like they don't like the idea of being with a bunch of different men. So basically, they take this thing that they're supposed to do, as in don't be a thought, and just turn it into something else, like, oh, be with women, and it's really dumb and retarded. But anyway, when it comes to Kiwami, when it comes to Yakuza, it was just it was surprisingly realistically handled how you would go about this kind of situation, like trying to talk to a lesbian, which is again a lot easier than you might think. But it's just, holy shit, like, Kuryu is such a fucking Chad. I really, really enjoyed these games. I've really gotten into Kiwami over the past couple of days. Once the plot got going a little bit, I started falling got a bit more interested into it. Like, I wish the missions were more interesting. Well, I need to talk about more about, I'll need to talk about Kiwami more, specifically at a later date. But yeah, I just wanted to make a video talking about, like, this specific moment, because it was just like, this is the kind of thing that makes me really like Yakuza, because it tackles weird societal topics like this in a way that's compelling, interesting, and fun. Like, you don't see any other games. You don't see many other games tackle the lesbian question, right? You don't see them address this kind of behavior and what it eventually leads into. Like, either they become miserable or they eventually get fucked by a guy. Like, eventually get... I shouldn't even say by a guy. Like, I should just say fucked. Because that's basically what it always devolves into. Like, there's no way it's not going to happen. Anyway. They basically just cope. If they say that, like, oh, I'm not attracted to men, you're not attracted to men, you're around. That's just the reality. Like, just come the fuck on. Right, so I'm interested in seeing how this quest line develops, if I pursue it, and whether it continues being based and red-pilled, or whether it cucks out in the end. I don't know what to expect from it, but we'll see. I doubt it's gonna go woke, because just the way it was handled. But yeah, I might actually go back and continue, like, going along this quest, going along with this girl, and seeing, like, where the relationship goes. I already saw that, like, there was an option to ask her out, which is again based in red pilled. Unbelievable. So yeah, Yakuza is a lot of fun, and I would highly recommend it already. Probably the best series of games on Game Pass. Again, I don't care for Ace Combat 7. I didn't care for a lot of other stuff. Tekken 7 was only good for online play. Honestly, I think I was only into Tekken when, like, I didn't know how to play it, and now that I'm, like, reasonably good, I don't really see a purpose in improving. You know what I mean? That's kind of my mindset on it. It's just like, okay, I'm good enough at the game. Who cares? Like, Yakuza's a lot of fun, and I cannot wait to continue playing.